Hello and welcome. Today we'll be taking a close look at the recently buffed Hetairos unit, which is Poseidon's unique unit. They weren't directly stated as having a buff in the patch notes, but as we explore the Thracian horses technology, you'll see what I mean. Stay tuned until the end for a clue on my next video. First, a bit about the unit. What is a Hetairos? The word in Greek means those near the king. They were basically a cross between the Marines and the Secret Service for Alexander the Great, an elite battalion of shock cavalry that nobody wanted to mess with, who was first to go into battle along with Alexander himself. Unlike in Age of Mythology, they apparently had cool bucket hats, but lacked leopard print riding coats. As Hetairoi are Poseidon's unique unit, you will always have access to Poseidon's unique technology Lord of Horses, granting +4 line of sight and 0.5 per second health regeneration. If Poseidon goes all in on cavalry, his fully upgraded Hetairoi can also get Spirited Charge from Hermes, granting +10% movement speed and 10% damage, Dionysia from Dionysus, granting +5% health, and Olympian Weapons from Hephaestus, granting +20% damage, plus a 2x multiplier against myth units. Finally, Dionysus also enables the Thracian horses technology, turning your cavalry into vampires. This helps us answer our earlier question. What is a Hetairos? A miserable little pile of prostagma. For all the tests in this video, you will be seeing mythical age Hetairoi with all of these upgrades. The Hetairos' area attack allows it to heal for each unit hit. That means that, when given enough weak units to attack, it can survive indefinitely, even with some external damage applied to it. This situation is one that you will probably only see in the editor. A bit later, we'll explore how effective the lifesteal might be in a real game situation. In this test, we can see that the lifesteal does not work against buildings. Any small uptick you might see in HP is caused by Lord of Horses regeneration. The Hetairos beats out the Greeks' mainline cavalry unit, the Hippeis, in almost every way, which we'll touch on in a moment. The Prodromos is another cavalry unit available to the Greeks, which is specialized against other cavalry units, and does do a better job than the Hetairos at that with the same population space, thanks to its much higher hack armor, large damage bonus against cavalry units, and much easier creation, being both faster to produce and coming from the stable rather than the fortress. So there is still some reason to make the Prodromos, even with access to Hetairoi. The Hippeis is about evenly matched against the Hetairos in a 1v1, but compels in comparison in a 3v3, as the Hetairoi survive with 83% of their HP remaining. The speed difference is less in practice than it appears on paper, and even without a bonus against archers, the Hetairos can dispose of them even more swiftly. The only reason you'd really want to make Hippeis after obtaining Hetairoi is if you have a lack of fortresses to produce enough of them and an abundance of stables. I know what you're thinking. How do Hetairoi fare against an endless swarm of multiplying zombies? Thanks in part to the 2x bonus offered by Olympian Weapons, Hetairoi can easily defeat a group of Prometheans with equal population. However, a problem arises if you add even slightly more zombies, as the healing is no longer able to outpace their damage. Hetairoi fare impressively in editor scenarios where they can heal off of many units at once, and there is no focus fire against them, but maneuvering this in a real game may prove difficult. Let's take a clear look at how large that area attack actually is. We're looking at very close to full damage about 1 militia unit away, a little under half damage 2 militia units away, and very minimal damage 3 militia units away. The Hetairos is going to work best if you can micro them into a choke point against small units, where you can deal that damage 1 to 2 tiles away, while not receiving as much damage in return. The rock, paper, scissors of Age of Mythology is, cavalry beats archers, archers beat infantry, and infantry beat cavalry. Prior to Retold, this was more of a soft triangle, but there were more hard counters added into the game since then. Can the Hetairoi's area healing, which we've seen is effective against small, bunched units, make it effective even against its counters, such as Norse herdmen? From my testing, the answer is sometimes. In large battles, the Hetairoi overwhelmingly win even against counter cavalry. I'm going to speed through a few different variations I tried here to illustrate. All battles have 60 total population on each side. First I tried mass herdmen, which failed. Then I tried a wall of herdmen behind some throwing axemen, which failed. Finally, I tried Braggy's swine array herdmen, which succeeded, with 29% of their health remaining. A few extra Hetairoi in there would have cleaned them up. Next, I tried Prodromos, which have a larger model and theoretically take less area damage. The generic Prodromos failed, but the ones with all minor god upgrades won convincingly. If your god doesn't have access to powerful counter cavalry, you need to focus fire the Hetairoi down one at a time to mitigate their healing and have a chance to win. Some obstacles Hetairoi will never surpass are elite targets with very high hit points. Unfortunately, you are going to have to build counter units for those targets, and Poseidon does not have access to Medusas to turn them to stone. I can't think of any composition that would beat Hetairoi plus Medusas. Let me know in the comments if you can think of one. Here's a hint for my next video. If you can get it, I will be very impressed. To be honest, without knowing it, I probably wouldn't be able to get it myself. Hetairoi are an incredibly strong unit if you have an advantage. Fully upgraded, they can take on swarms of most units in the game with equal population, but struggle with some individually tanky units. If you are currently winning the game, they are almost always a good choice, as they will beat even their counters if they outnumber them. I hope you found this video informative, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel to help it grow. Until next time.